Welcome back to Flying So 6 channel. Today I have another unboxing here. This one here, well, it looks very similar to the last couple ones I did. This one is actually the Tanares Ultimate Standee Edition. So this video is going to uncover the unboxing. We're going to go over pretty much most of the cards again. If you've already seen some of my previous videos, I mean, there's not like, you know, different cards in here. This is basically the same kind of cards, but at least I'll be able to kind of clarify which ones are here. So we'll have that. And additionally, I have the Standee upgrade kit here. So this gives you like that extra add-on of the extra book and some other miniatures that wasn't included in the base box. Then following that will be the storage guide of the Standee. Let's get into it. All right, let's get into opening the Tanares Adventures Ultimate Standee Edition. So it's got a big lid top here. We're just pulling this puppy off. There we go. And off here to the side. So just kind of out here on the top, just see we have our card box. We have a tray storage here, which if you watched my video on the tile storage, and I'll link that in this video here, this actually looks identical. It looks like they use the exact same tray, or at least very close. It's very close. I see that there's like one, normally the box would come with 2 dice spots. This one only seems to come with 1. I'll probably still go through it anyway, just so you can see. But it may be like a condensed version, but otherwise these are very similar tray box there. Below this, I believe this is a brand new tray that is specific for the Standee Edition. Within this box we got our mana cubes, which we've seen before. We have our standees, which of course is brand new because we don't have standees for any other edition of the game. And then we have a couple sleeve spots there, and then 1 dice here, because really, you really only need 1 dice to play the game. The original reason that the game came with 2 was because there was a PvP element. So the Standee Edition basically doesn't have PvP. It's just for playing the campaign. And let's look here at the cards below there. Oh, well, we'll come back to that here in a second. So we open the card box. All right, we have our reference cards here. I have shown these in earlier videos. Let's look here in the main tray. So we got some of the fate cards. Some probably NPC cards. I can crack into these here real soon, but I have done pretty extensive videos on all of these. Here's like the Master Brute, which we talked about before. These type of cards are the ones that allows you to use this card along with a hero unique card during the campaign. So this is a level 2. So you may have so many of the role level cards you can use, and this one allows you to use a level 2 in conjunction with your hero unique attack. So that way this helps scale your hero over the course of the game, so you can keep your hero unique and not just everyone using the role specific attacks. And then it looks like we have some other attacks there. This is probably up the comrade cards, and then the city cards there. Here are your adventure cards. These are the brand new ones. And then this looks to be a lot of the hero unique attacks. Then there's some bosses. We'll get into that later. Next is our item cards. So levels starter through level 3. You got your loot deck here, and then your legendary items and hero unique skill cards here. This is some of the new stuff that we offered. So you know, you could keep your skill pad even more unique instead of just it being generic. So if you were playing Qatar, for example, you could use this with him. But usually, you know, this is going to happen later in the game, right? This is a level 3 skill, so you won't unlock it until later. All right, so those are like the mini Euro size. Here are your villain cards. And then there's some boss ones here on the back. And then the same envelope, I believe, that's in all the boxes we've unboxed. Yep, exact same one that is in the Standee. All right, so we can kind of quickly cut through some of these, and we'll go over it. All right, so we're going over this deck here. And like I said, I'm just going to go over this briefly because we kind of went over a lot of previous cards in the past videos, but just kind of help out anybody that probably hasn't watched those ones. So these are NPC cards. These ones you will use during your campaign. You'll be able to unlock this. This is available in week 3. These ones are all the brand new ones, part of Tanares Ultimate. So if you didn't own those before, then you're getting those for the first time. Well, and really, if you're buying this box, you haven't played Tanares at all, right? But anyway, so starting here, right, we got our level 1s, level 2s. These are ones that all came basically in Tanares Adventures. And I think there was only a couple that were replaced, so you probably just have the new version of those ones. Let me see if I can find that one card. This one here, this turn all challenges to conquer NPCs require -2 on each ability. Yeah, so this is like the revised card. If you're a new backer, that doesn't really make sense to you, but for any of the returning backers, you know, we got that replacement card. But for everyone else, so we got all of these. So NPC cards all the way up to level 6. You'll unlock these as you go through the campaign. You have your initial starter NPCs, which you use in the city phase. All of these can be used in the city phase. Any of the weak ones will be used in quests because they have a quest power. But the starting ones, you'll notice that they don't have any quest power. So it's kind of slowly introduce you to the game. And then we have, it looks like a few of our hero unique attacks here and hero attack cards. So we have Virant and Azrael here, the water elementalist. All right, so that is what is in this deck. And I'm just gonna probably separate some of these off to the side and put them in later here. Let's open this one. It's the one with the Fate and the character deck on the other side. Let's see what's in here. So hopefully these videos have been helpful for you guys. So Fate deck, it's basically a way to draw random cards. Then we have the Flasks, which are used by Magenta, the character Magenta, and then also in some of the Arena of the Contest quests. Next up, we have our hero cards. Hero cards are only used in PvE. Now, I know, you know, this, like I mentioned earlier, this doesn't have PvP, but just because I know it's a question that I've seen over and over and over from people, that's why I'm mentioning them. And then we have our special new Tanares Ultimate hero cards here that you also have. So this is all hero cards, and we're just going to put those one off to the side, and we're going to put these NPCs with those ones. All right, let's get through this quick. Next up is this one had some of the roll-based attacks. So this looks like, yeah, all the new ones. So the Legendary and the Master versions. Legendary is one that you'll use basically near the end of the campaign. And those are replacing, right, your hero unique attacks. Well, and actually it's supplementing them, right? Because you're going to use one of these cards with your hero unique attacks to give you more variability. And then this, yeah, looks like here is the other role-based attacks. So we had brutes, tacticians, and there is quite a few in here. So I'm just going to kind of cut through this. Tanks, bruisers, healers, shooters, controllers, and then commanders here at the end. So this entire deck is hero unique, hero role-based attacks. This next deck is the one with city structures and I believe comrade cards. Let's just double check that that's pretty much all there is on here. It looks like there might be an, well, maybe this is mostly it. We'll see. So city structures, right, they level up. So starting at 1, going up to 8, right? And there's 4 different city structures: Natural Lab, Weapon Shop, Iron Hand Outpost, and the Tavern. So we'll put city structures over here, and then these are the comrade cards. So your comrades is basically a way to play with like a simplified hero, and once they get high enough level, then or as you kind of like go through, right, you can purchase more powerful versions of the attacks. And also, so yeah, you could play this when playing solo. You could play this when maybe you just have somebody that doesn't really want the complexity of playing the game normal with like skill pads. So it makes it real easy. So yeah, these are all just comrades, and then these are the comrade specials here at the back. All right, so keeping these decks actually pretty simple and pretty much exactly what I expected. This one here, I am like, yeah, I'm very positive this is just your adventure cards. So I'm not even going to open those ones because I already know what those are. This one looks like it's hero unique attacks and then bosses. Alright, so all of these hero uniques up here in the front. There's a lot of different characters. I think, I'm trying to remember how many the Standee edition had. For some reason I felt like it was like 24 heroes. So there's quite a bit of options here. It is kind of a mix, I'll say that. So it's a bit of mix between some of the boxes from Arena of the Contest, some from the Tanares Adventures, some from the Penumbral Pack, some from the Legendary box. So you're getting like a kind of a, you know, quite a selection. And then the Tanares Ultimate heroes are in here as well, that were just added. So yeah, you're getting a lot of different options. I will say that it does make it a little more difficult if you want to try to get the miniatures version later, because you'll get some of, like you already have, right, some of the hero unique attacks, some of the hero cards already. So you would have like extra of those. So the idea with the Standee edition, yeah, these are more just hero unique, commanders, bruisers, controllers, and then yeah, boss attacks are here at the back, and that's all of those ones. So pretty simple there. So yeah, the idea with the Standee edition is really to give you the most cost-effective way to play the game. Because this is such a massive game, right? The base box contains over 90 different quests, that you're already getting a ton. Now I'm not even going to open this one. We already know what it is. It's the loot deck here. Nothing secret there. Same thing with the items. I know that this is starter all the way to level 3. Nothing surprising there. And then the legendary, well, we can open this one just because I'm kind of curious about one part of this. But it's giving you the most cost-effective version of the game, right? Because you're not getting miniatures, you're not getting standees, you're not getting, PvP, you're getting, you know, a reduced set of things, but the idea is, right, you just want the bare minimum. And, you know, I don't know, maybe you can tell at the beginning, this box is like about almost half, I'd say, maybe a little more than half the size of the regular Ultimate box. So yeah, you're not having quite as many. So yeah, this is actually also just here, I was curious about this. It looks like it's just the hero the hero skills that come in the Standee. So you won't even have all of the skills. This is very dependent on the Standee. So if you wanted to change later, you would have to get, you know, the Ultimate box that had everything. And then we have all the legendaries that were added to the game there. So no other surprise in that. Let's do the villain cards, which I'm pretty sure is just villain cards, and then the boss cards at the back. But just for completeness. So we know that that's basically what, you know, a lot of people wanted. This is a big game. It takes a lot of space, right? So this is trying to appease that. But I will say that because we didn't really have a lot of people that wanted this. Oh, look, there's like an extra little barcode piece there. That's part of the reason why we haven't really been looking into doing, you know, like a Standee edition for like Odalin, because when you make games, you have to have a certain minimum order of units, right? And so most of the time, a lot of the manufacturers, the minimum amount of units you need to manufacture is 1,000. So that means if you don't sell, you know, you don't at least have 1,000 people that want this, then, and so let's see, so it goes to 98. I get this question all the time. People are like, where's the 99? There is no 99. It's the Penumbral Phoenix that's the 99. Or sorry, the Mystical Phoenix that's 99. So these are all villain cards here. Let me look at this. So put this off to the side. And more bosses there. All right, so that is exactly what I thought it was. So that is all the cards. So we'll come back to this here, but let me just finish this last point. So basically, yeah, you have to have a certain minimum order. And if you don't have that minimum order, pretty much it means you have a lot of unsold boxes that you somehow have to sell to somebody. So that's the challenge of if there's not a demand and you know, there's a lot of different things that people want, but it's not necessarily realistic for us to be able to offer every option out there, right? Because not every option is that popular. But anyway, that is the cards. We're going to move on to the tiles and probably Standees next. All right, next up is our punch boards here. There's a little like pull area where you can pull up on one of this to kind of get it easier to get it out. Because once you do this, you'll never need it again. So it makes sense for them to only include this one. So basically this one's going to include all of your tiles, and then you can tell right here on the back, right, this is where our Standees are. And I think that's really where most of this focus is going to be, especially since I've done videos before talking about all the tiles. You know, most people are here to see the Standees. So we'll check it out. All right. So there's some pretty cool stuff here. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3. Did they kind of mix these in? No, I think that's, yeah. I think it's just there's 3 pages of Standees here. So this should be enough to play everything that is in Tanares Adventures, the first 3 campaign books. So weeks 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and 5 and 6. And you'll see that there is all the different enemies here, like some of the harpies, the gargoyles, some of the different chemic characters, the reapers, elementals, even the ogre, and then we have some of like the Tanares Ultimate characters, some chests, which actually this is new art, because they needed to create an art for this chest since we don't currently have that. So basically we just need to punch all of those guys out. On this page here, we have some of the Standee bosses. So here is the Augur. We have Balara here, the Chimera there, and then the Red Dragon. And we have things like the prisoners, the orbs. Actually, the orbs is also a new artwork that didn't exist before because it didn't have it. Same thing with the barrels. I don't think we had any art of that before, so they needed to create some new art for some of these. Otherwise, some of these other characters already existed. Anyway, yeah, it looks pretty cool. And then let's look on the last one. Basically, this looks like all the heroes. And then a couple of the NPC characters that are available. So we have Renkir here, Qatar, Rokaru, Rurik, Morlo. I'm not going to go through all these just in case I screw it up, but it's actually interesting. There is the green portal here, the red portal, and then the backside, so the double-sided piece. I've had a number of comments about that. I just got... honestly, I don't even really remember now how I got them, but there was at one point offered the portals that were not double-sided. It was just red on both sides. So I have extra tiles for those, but otherwise it's the same one. And then we have two NPC characters, the damsel and then the farmer here, which will just show up, but they're not, actually playable. So let's count the number of heroes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Unless I missed one. I think there's supposed to be 24. But anyway, so this... should be all of the hero characters there. And then, yeah, basically we have walls, tile, pieces, tokens that already exist in the game. All right, you got the odalin thing there, along with foreteller if you want to be able to use this, hack and slash. And then basically this is a pre-packaged thing here. So you are getting... your skill pads, you got your game board there, and then there is, well, let's just open it. So here's the bottom of the box. We're there, everybody. Crack this open. So skill pads, I believe you should have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it looks like they gave 8 on this one. It's kind of interesting. I guess we still decided to keep that. So technically you're only supposed to have, one of each type of role, right? So like the brute shooter shares one, controller tactician, tank, bruiser, and the healer commander. But we gave enough of these skill pads that you could theoretically do like a brute and a shooter, or 2 brutes, if you really wanted to, but otherwise, yeah, that's it. All right, and then we have the game board here, the standard game board. The poster map there. You have the campaign log there with the update. The quick start guide here. Let's teach you how to play, give you a good rundown on how to play the game for Tanares Adventures. You got your rule book, and then we have weeks 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and 5 and 6. All right, so that's pretty much actually it for the Standee box. I'm gonna load these back in, and then we'll go over the extras reward for Standee, and then we'll show you how to use the storage on this. All right, let's do the Standee. At first, I didn't even remember what this one is because it's got a name of ATC SEC01. So I forgot that this was the Standee edition extras here. So here is the extras book. So the exact same extras book that already exists in Tanares Ultimate. And of course, you know, the returning backer kit. The real difference is this here. So you can get the 2 phoenixes. You can get these extra characters here like Cordal and Gazzini. So these are actually used in the Wasteland Expedition. That's why these ones show up. Although they are heroes, they just not heroes for this box, I believe. But then you'll see some of the other artwork for some of the other characters in there. Is it just this one sheet? Might be it, yeah. And then we have, yeah, the boss cards here for those extra modes. So really the extras book contains some of the things for, right, like your Silver Dragon fight, there's an Elder Dragon fight, in the Realms of Madness campaign that exists in here, and then of course the Wasteland Expedition. So if you don't have the exact same one, or the exact same like miniature or whatever, well, I guess in this case it'd be Standee, then you could just use a different Standee to represent that character. Because I don't think there is no like Elder Dragon Standee, and it doesn't look, yeah, there's like a Silver Dragon Standee either. I will also say too that it looks like there isn't a Standee for Gulag, who was one of the characters, and they probably did that because, well, they did that on accident for one thing, but that was because Gulag is only playable in PvP, so they removed him from the box, but from the Standees list. But the problem is that Gulag actually does show up in the campaign. He's just not playable, so they missed the Standee on that one. Which is definitely not preferable, so you can kind of just use one of the other Kemet to fill in for that one. Otherwise, maybe we can do a Standee. I mean, I'd like to do a version of the Standee that includes all of the Standees, or all the characters, because right now, so this is just all the bosses, so there you go. You got the Silver Dragon one. But the current one doesn't actually have all of the characters because we, you know, didn't have, you know, all of the characters available for Standee. This was intended to be a limited box and bringing you the most core experience. Now, people really wanted the extras campaign, which is why we offered this stuff here. But the intent is to be, you know, right, as cost effective and as condensed and easy to fit in the boxes we can. But yeah, so maybe one day we'll have an add-on or something available on like the website for getting, you know, other Standees, including like the Gulag. But that's pretty much it. So we got the boss cards, we have the extra Standees, we have the extra boss pads, which I showed here. And that's it for the extras thing. There's not really a lot more in there. All right, starting the storage guide here. I will add that I have actually already done the extras part of the book reward. So I just added that to the other books in here. It fits perfectly fine. So just adding that there. Putting in these pretty close to about the same order that they came in. And basically, yeah, you should have a pretty close to flat spot, you know, right here to kind of, you know, get things started. All right, so let's go to the cards area, which really there's not a lot of organization to this, just because this version doesn't actually come with dividers, so we still have the reference card in the same spot. And then basically, you know, all your poker sized here, the mini euros here, and the gold size here. But to quickly kind of add how I did mine version, which is actually pretty similar to how A lot of the other ones are done. So we have hero cards over here on the side. So all of those are together. And then after that, it starts going by each class. And I'll just show one example here. We have like all of the, and actually I think this one I got slightly reversed, but it's okay. So I would have like the hero unique attacks first, and then the role based. You can tell they're hero unique because they have the picture of the hero on the back, right? And then, but the role based all have the symbol of the class. So I put all of those together because, you know, you're going to pick whichever hero, and then basically you're going to need those roles based on, you know, which one, which hero you're playing. So basically I did the same thing. So then it goes, so it goes Brute, Tactician, Tank, then it's going Healer, Shooter, Controller, Bruiser, and then the Commander is the last one. So I follow the exact same thing all the way through. The next section is all of the special heroes. So they basically are not really even unlocked at the beginning, and they're all specials. You can tell because they have like a white background like this, and they have this AA symbol. So that's the symbol for the special class. So I have all of those, and pretty much that's just all of the Tanares Ultimate Heroes. So all of these, the new ones that were added, are all basically next after all the other classes. Then we have all of the Comrade cards, and those are all, you know, set in the same order that, you know, that they should be. Then... So we go through all the Comrade cards. And then we got the Comrade Specials as the last part. We then have our city structures in the order of, you know, progression. And then we have the NPC cards, starting with the initials right here, which is the starting, and then increasing, right? So it's going to go initial 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I already pre-sorted all the new cards together into the correct weeks. So week 6, last one right there. Next up is all of your adventure cards. So you know that they're adventure cards because they have like this letter symbol at the bottom, and then there's some artwork, and then on the back side there's some text there. So that's all the adventure cards. So that's probably the primary cards, and then basically after this gets kind of more your situational type. So all of like the boss related attacks are next, followed by, and I believe it's just basically the extra cards at this point. So our fate cards here, Flasks, and yeah, that's it. So it's pretty simple. There's, but that's, you know, kind of how that one goes. And just a note too, right, as I put in the extra boss cards in here so they all fit from the Standee Extras reward. So it all fits in here. Same thing, I added all of the villain cards here. Basically, this is pretty much what came in addition to the other villains that were added in. I did move this over here to this side just because I did something a little bit different. So first, I have the loot cards here on this right-hand side. And then I turned these cards. You don't have to do that like me, but at least there's a little bit of a separation. But these are all the hero hero skills that are double-sided. I turned them sideways just so that way kind of easier to stick out and find those ones, but you don't have to do that. You could just have them all in a line, but it is possible. And then basically loot, right? So then starting from starter, 1, 2, 3, all the way up to legendary at the back. But it all does actually fit in there. And that's it for the card section. Really, this storage is by far the easiest one, just because there's not a lot more going on that you haven't already seen. So it just kind of goes back in the way it was before, sideways like that. This one's probably the one unique one, and honestly I wish I had a super answer for this one, but really there's not. So I have the standees, the bigger ones I took out here, but these are the smaller stands, the standees, manicubes in the center. Over here I have our like NPCs and object type items. Down here is a lot of the hero type of characters that you'll pull and use. But then everything on the right is basically the big boss standees at the bottom. And then I tried to split these up in piles that I believe that would fit more to like different campaigns. So the smaller one is a little more focused on the extras and the Wasteland Expedition, versus this one is pretty much all the Tanares Adventures stuff. So I put them in those two sleeve bags that they provide. And then basically just put it on top like that, and there's really tons of extra room. Yeah, there's really not just a super way to organize, you know, each standee in a, you know, super organized way. So that's really the best way to do it. Now maybe I should have put the cards. Maybe I'll put the cards in next. Put them in last and put this in first because it's just a little easier. All right, and then I already did these, and what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to go back and basically take my tiles and accessories video and put this in here, because this is identical. Like this one is exactly the same. And this one, the only difference is we removed one of the spots for an extra dice, but otherwise it's pretty much exactly the same. I will say there's only one thing that is incorrect in this one, is the hero circle tokens, so the hero class tokens. I'll just give one as an example. Well, actually, wait, maybe that is right. So there's like a hex one. Yeah, here it is. So there's a hex one for the commander that shows 70 plus. And then we have like extra hex ones here for the heroes. I mean, you're never going to actually need to use these because there is no PvP mode in this one. So I think they just maybe accidentally did that, or they figured they'd provide some extra ones just for like clarity. But they're actually not like double side like the other ones are. So what they're supposed to be is the class symbol on one side, and then on the other side is supposed to be a plus 70 token. The only one that actually had that was the commander one. The other ones didn't. So just as a note, I would use the circle tokens for when you play. You don't really even need those class hex tokens. But other than that, like this is exactly the same as the other box and the tile storage. So you can just store that up in the same way that I did before. And then we're just gonna drop this in. Boom. All right, and that is it for Tanares Adventures Ultimate Standee Box unboxing storage guide. Hope that helped you guys. But that is it for today. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you at the next one.